Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Hearthstone Mercenaries video, I'm going to take a look at various cheap comps that you can use. Like, what are you going to use when you get started with Hearthstone Mercenaries, and then what are the cheapest options that you want to aim for right at the start, and how can you progress through the bounties. As you start playing Hearthstone Mercenaries, you're rapidly given 8 mercenaries at the start. You're just given some of them come from the first 30 tasks, and you have a set of 8 mercenaries. And then right now, in Fractured in Alterac Valley rewards track, there's also a Ninth mercenary Vanessa Van Cleef that you're also going to get right at the start. So you have a starting set of 9 mercenaries. A single mercenaries party consists of 6 mercenaries, and this is the party that I would recommend you start playing with in the early game. You will get better abilities and more equipment for your mercenaries as you play the game, so obviously if you get one piece of equipment you want to use that. But generally you want to aim for Cariel with Tome of Light, Blademaster Samuro with Burning Blade, although Sash of Illusion is also strong, and Cirilla with Radiant Wand. This trio is very strong at climbing bounties. As you get them geared up, they are very strong climbing even difficult heroic bounties. Typically you want to try to kill any green enemies that could shoot at Cirilla through a taunt first, and otherwise you just try to take enemies out as fast as possible using Cirilla and Samuro. In this particular fight, for example, this green is attacking, so it can be stopped by a taunt. Cariel is always going to taunt up, and Samuro has double strike. Attack an enemy, if it's damaged, gain attack and attack it again. So we're going to start with Blinding Luminance on the target that we want to use Samuro, and Blinding Luminance deals damage to that target, then Samuro gets to attack into it twice, and then we're going to see the result here. This is a blue, so Samuro deals double damage to it, and that damage is fairly devastating. Cariel is good at staying alive. In this case I will be using Cariel to take down that blue, and then Samuro and Cirilla will work to take down the other one. Cariel has enough health here to survive, so taking some minor damage should be no problem whatsoever. Double damage, but it's perfectly fine. Now we have only one target left, and then we can just blast, and this comp is very strong at climbing. Just that cooperation between Cirilla and Samuro taking down the threats and Cariel protecting everyone. The other mercenaries in this starting comp are Grommash with Halting Sash. Grommash can also enable Samuro because Staggering Slam is such a fast ability. Then I have Millhouse with Arcane Powder. Millhouse doesn't have a lot of work to do in this comp, but Millhouse is useful in budget farming comps that will be very valuable later on, as you start to farm tasks so that you can get more abilities and more equipment for your mercenaries. And finally there is Rokara with Helm of Inspiration, giving you a bit of a start into an Orc comp, because Blademaster Samuro, Grommash and Rokara are all Orcs. Orcs can be a powerful group, but you kind of need 6 Orcs to really make that work, and the other Orcs are more rare, so it's more difficult to acquire them all. While not as strong as Cariel, Samuro and Cirilla, the Orcs also have something to contribute, with Grommash using Staggering Slam, and Samuro using Double Strike, and Rokara starting with Tribal Warfare, so Orcs can also enable that real power of Samuro. However, as you can see from this position, I didn't have that taunt to protect my weaker minions, and Samuro is now in trouble. I can still try to get something done using Double Strike and using Rokara's Offensive Rally to buff Samuro, but I'm afraid in this one I am going to lose Samuro here. On the other hand, maybe I'm not. And boom. But yeah, definitely a little bit weaker. But as you have a party with more Orcs in it, Orcs are getting a lot of stat buffs, so that will make Orcs very powerful later in the game. As for the other starter mercenaries, Cornelius is strong and can be used in multiple comps. Cornelius, especially once you get Shield of Dawn equipment, can be a very powerful tank. Cariel is a little bit better at surviving, Cornelius is a little bit better at protecting others around him, so Cariel is typically the stronger one. Then again, Tyrande. And Vanessa Van Cleef that is currently available from the rewards track of Fractured in Alterac Valley. These two are really weak and really you shouldn't spend time on those. But out of the 9 mercenaries that you get free at the start of the game, currently 7 of them are usable. As you start to move beyond starter mercenaries, nature comp even on a budget can be very powerful. The budget version consists of Brukan with Lightning Rod, Guff with Bramblethorn Totem, and Lady Anaconda with Toxic Venom. And all of these are rare mercenaries, so they are available rather quickly. For the full cost effect you would want Malfurion with Liferoot Staff to replace Anaconda, but Malfurion is a legendary so you might not be able to get it very quickly. The budget nature comp is not quite as strong at climbing as Cariel, Cirilla and Samuro. If I had Malfurion here instead of Lady Anaconda, then the whole comp would passively heal itself all the time, and that would make it very powerful. But right now, because we don't have that, then we just need to blast here, and Lady Anaconda has some healing capabilities, and Guff has an ability to get taunt and more stats, so I can try to use those abilities to keep everyone alive. So here we go. Blasting there, and lightning bolting there, and living brambles there, and we're just dealing a lot of damage while our mercenaries are staying alive. And now the final touches, and this will be over. In many of the bounties, the budget nature comp is stronger at bosses than at climbing, and that means that Cariel, Samuro, Cirilla, and then the budget comp makes for a very strong pairing. Another way to enhance Cariel, Samuro, and Cirilla is to add Localar to the mix. This allows you to replace Cirilla with Localar in fights where there are lots of greens that would threaten Cirilla, and that makes the climbing comp even stronger. But that requires 4 mercenaries, so then you don't have a full other trio on the bench. Then some of the best bench options are Localar with Frigid Winds, then Warden with Potion of Ice or Chilling Amulet, and Cookie with Appetizers, because Appetizers gives more health to all of your characters, so they are more difficult to kill, even when Cookie is on the bench. So here is an example of a fight where multiple greens could threaten Cirilla, but instead I'm using Localar, and that will make it easy. Just Hailstorm away, and with the equipment, Localar deals more damage if anyone acts before it. We're going to see some interesting action. Pow! Well, those hailstones hurt. And that was not all. More is coming. Now we're going to make Samuro immune a little bit here. Like that, and hailstorm again. And pew. Localar. There are also some more fun things that you can do on a budget using only rare mercenaries, like this budget combo, where Mr. Smite is going to use Overboard, Cornelius is going to use Blessing of Sacrifice on Mr. Smite, and Rokara is going to use Offensive Rally. This requires that you have leveled up and geared up these mercenaries, but once you have that set up, it's only rare mercenaries, and it can take down quite a few bosses even. Its difficulty is that if there's enemies with a lot of attack, then Cornelius will die during the combo and the combo will end there. But if enemies have low attack, then this just instantly wipes the board. On turn 2, the combo uses abilities with cooldown, so you can't do it on turn 1. So on turn 1, I try to avoid taking damage on Cornelius. So I rather taunt with Smite, Cornelius can even just chill, and Rokara can use Tribal Warfare to try to hit a little bit onto the biggest enemy. And on turn 2, we let loose the combo. Overboard, Blessing of Sacrifice on Smite, and Offensive Rally. And yeah, that's a combo. White is getting angry. Whenever there's a boss fight where there's a low damage boss, then this can even take those down. Finally, task grinding is an important part of Mercenaries. That's when you just repeatedly do a bounty, look for mysterious strangers, reset the bounty and look for them again, in order to get tasks for your Mercenaries, which will give you coins that give you abilities that unlock equipment. The best budget task farming comp is Millhouse with Arcane Powder, Brukan, whose equipment here doesn't really matter, but I usually use Lightning Rod, and Localar with Frigid Winds. So you use AoE on Millhouse, you actually slow down your own Localar with Brukan, and then Localar just wipes the bounty clear. You typically want to do this in Heroic Fellwood in the Lord Banehollow bounty. Alright, so here we go. Arcane Explosion, then we muddy footing our own Localar to slow it down so that this Hailstorm goes last, so with that Frigid Wind equipment it's going to deal a ton of damage. Padao. When you go task farming, your comp typically consists of the 3 mercenaries that are going to do all the fights and 3 mercenaries that you want tasks for. Other reasonably cheap alternatives to farm tasks include Millhouse Warden King Crush or even Millhouse King Crush Localar. Generally, the strongest task farming comp is Fire comp, but that requires Ragnaros, which is a legendary, and Baron Geddon, which is an epic, so you may want to get started with these unless you manage to get those mercenaries from packs. Those are all the main cheap comps for Hearthstone Mercenaries for PvE, so I hope this video helps you get started, get some of your rares going, and start solving those bounties and eventually build towards even stronger comps. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.